Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 2 out of 3 in bad with me, Robbie Davies.
And me, Harrison Horsley. I can't believe it.
We're back. It's the
We're back.
long-awaited return of 2 out of 3 in bed.
Come on.
Yeah, but
Cheers.
there's,
Clink across the screens. I
we
myself am strange and unusual.
we knew that already.
Right, that's wasted
Um,
30 seconds. What now?
well, we go. Okay, so, how have you been, Harrison Horsley?
Been good. How have you been? What's been going on in your life?
So much. Uni.
Yeah.
Um, that's pretty much it. Um. Yeah, getting back into it all, getting back into the press nights and the sort of high things to talk about for once in my life. Uh,
Wow. See, it's the opposite. I've only seen one thing since you've last spoken.
so, this
It's
month
literally
is the
reversed
one.
here.
This is good stuff because I've got last month's and this month's shows. I'm
There
like
you
ready.
go.
I am so ready for this episode. I've been ready and raring to go. Um,
Oh.
and yeah, that's pretty much what I've been up to. Not too much. Keeping it real.
Of course, as you always do. Recording your
I've
show.
That's it. Being on Box Office Radio every week.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
yeah, every Thursday, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. and every Saturday, 2 p.m. until 4 p.m. without
Oh,
fail.
selfless self plug there. You know what I mean? Sort of
Shelfless,
selfless. I
cordless
went.
vacuum cleaner.
I don't even know if that makes any sense, but you just went full out.
Yeah,
Oh, I see. I'm tired today. I don't.
me too. Me too.
We have both see we've done both extremes now. Once we've recorded really early in the morning. We're now see there's your duck for the day. We've once recorded early in the morning. We've recorded late at night. We've done everything in between. See it's usually I feel like because over the summer we started recording a bit earlier, and now
Yeah,
it's getting colder. We're
yeah.
later
These
again,
cold
and
dark
now
evenings. I had jazz at 11
we're
a.m.
tired, but the other way
Yeah,
around.
that's it. So it.
Oh,
Yes,
grab a
yes,
pillow. Let's
indeed.
go to bed. Not us, not together. That's no, that's we might be taken down now. Yeah, no, I'm up for that. I feel like we need to do a like in person recording at some point.
That would be Euro fun, actually.
That'd be a lot of fun. But we have the chance to do that soon because of the box office radio weekender that's
That
coming
is
up.
so true.
That's gonna be a lot of fun. Of course, we often miss each other passing in the box office radio studio
We do
because we
often because we don't do the same day.
don't do the same day.
I'm on
But
the Thursdays and then I hand over to you a day in advance. And
absolutely,
and then
what are
I'm
we gonna
back in
do?
the next day taking your second slot. So like I miss you all the time.
That's the thing. We'll do
I
it. We'll do
miss you
something in
every
person.
time.
Yeah,
Um but yeah, anyway, theatre chat, Harrison Horsley, would you like to go first?
I would. I've only seen one thing. I've been absolutely slacking. Robbie has beat me this month. Absolutely, I am losing here. However, I had a very, very productive couple of months, so I'm taking
Really?
this, as it is.
Yeah.
And I haven't even got my programs. I'm not that
I haven't
prepared
got my
tonight.
programs. My programs have gone home.
I am genuinely. This has got to be the least prepared episode we've ever
It's
done.
the most wild episode so far.
I think is though, I think all of the episodes are wild. We've just absolutely, I
They're all
mean,
just disjointed. This is what it is.
yeah, you could watch any of them. It's kind of like, those films where you can start at any point in the
It's
film
like,
and it still
yeah, it's like
makes
a nice
sense.
TV. It's like The Simpsons, you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. We're gonna keep going for a good 20 series and people are just gonna get really bored of us.
We're just gonna get
Uh,
really unfunny at one point.
yeah,
It's
yeah. But yes, I've only seen one thing, and that one thing was Pretty Woman the musical.
I remember you saying you were going to see this. How
Yes.
was it?
I very much enjoyed it. So that was one where I remember talking about it on our last episode. I hadn't
I
seen the
haven't seen
film
the
going into
film.
it. Hadn't watched the film. I'm glad I didn't. I've watched it since. The musical was, I really enjoyed it, so I went to watch the film. But Yeah, I hadn't seen the film going into it, but it still made sense. You still
Yeah,
follow the story. I still had a very fun time. Ore Aduba as Happy Man and Mr. Thompson was fantastic. There are some really catchy tunes. I think the opening number,
the opening
Welcome to
number is
Hollywood.
real catchy.
I play that one all the time on Box Office Radio now just because it's up there. It's you just want to dance to it. It's
He's
great.
always got it on.
Yeah. But I thought it was really good. There's a guy who played the bellhop of the hotel. I can't actually remember his name because it was a while ago now.
I
I
know.
should have had
Yeah,
to, but that's such a funny character.
yeah.
And it genuinely through the musical every time it keeps popping up. But to be fair, Ore kept popping up throughout the musical as loads of different characters.
Yes, he does.
It's
Yeah,
it's actually really funny, and you
he's a
get
really good
something
lead.
different from the film, but also if you're a fan of the film, I think it's very true to the film. Having watched it now, I was watching it thinking it's exactly the same as the musical.
Yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. I think as well, Amber Davies is perfect in the role of Vivian.
Yes.
She's really fantastic performer. But I believe the tour's closed now, so
Yeah, it's done.
we're talking
Gone.
about the past. It's all over.
It's all in the
We
past.
had its laughs, and I
Must have
mean,
been love,
I'd
but
very
it's
much
over
like to see
now.
it again. Yeah, indeed. If it comes back, I'd really like to go back to it.
I would second you on that one. I went twice.
Did you?
I did.
Did you see that? Was it the tour, or have you seen different casts?
Yeah, the tour twice
The
in the
tour
same
twice.
venue.
Mm. Oh right, wow.
Once on
Die
press
hard
night.
fan over here.
Well, yeah, I
There you
booked it
go.
up and then I got invited to go to press night. So,
Why not? Yeah, why not? Um,
all fun, yeah.
Yeah, that was my very, I mean, I say uneventful. Pretty Woman was amazing, but compared to previous months, that was
Yeah.
nothing. Robbie, take over for me. Let's talk musicals.
Relax and enjoy. I have quite a few because early September I went to go and see my first show in a hell of a long time, which was And Juliet, the UK tour. And
Hey.
it was awesome. The cast were
Mm,
fantastic. I loved Sandra Marvin as Angelique. I think she was hilarious.
lovely.
Dr. Range was playing
Yes,
yeah.
that
Um,
was thrown in there. Any
that
comments on that, or are you just
shocked,
gonna drop the name?
that shocked me. I didn't know what to think. At first, I was like, "Oh, it's Dr. Range." Like I saw him on the telly as a kid, and then he's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
there.
There he is.
Um, hey, it's good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I just think the problem was for me was Sandra Marvin was like out of this world,
Yeah.
and I think she kind of overshadowed in a little bit of a
Uh-huh.
way. But he was good. He was good. Um, the whole cast were real strong. The energy was so high for the tour.
Oh yeah, it is for that
Um,
show though, and Juliet. It
but
really is.
then what happened? What happened then? Ah, I moved to uni and I caught Hello Dolly
Oh yes, Imelda.
on their closing night of the show. I was speechless. That honestly, I've been wanting to see that for so long with Imelda Staunton in it. I remember like pre-COVID when I've always been a theatre kid, but
Yeah.
not like a die-hard theatre kid. And then like pre-COVID, I was getting into my Hamilton era and my like this is
Yeah,
when we're getting into like the early teenage years of when you're like, oh
absolutely.
actually MT, yeah.
Yeah.
Um yeah, all of that kind of thing. And then I was, and I saw rumors that Hello Dolly with Melda Staunton was supposed to be coming to the UK. I was thinking, I don't know what this Hello Dolly is. Let me find out. And
Mhm.
I loved it. And I was like, oh, I really would see this if it comes. And then Melda Staunton, obviously, I was like, wow. And then it finally happened like 5 years later, and it was mega. The, honestly, wow. They need to. They didn't film it, did they?
I'm not
They
sure.
filmed
I don't think so. I
I
feel like
heard they
someone would
filmed
have
Next to
said something.
Normal and they filmed Kiss Me Kate, but
Yeah.
they didn't film Hello Dolly, which was the biggest mistake I've ever seen
Is it
in
not
anything ever.
at the National? Going to the National Theatre? Did they not say it was going to transfer? Have I made
Hello
that up
Dolly.
entirely? Or have you
I,
just been living under a rock? What?
I might have been living under a rock, but I don't think I heard that.
I don't- it might. Was I? Have I? It might be a different production. I think
It might
something's.
be.
This is such a chaotic episode.
If it is, I'll be there because honestly,
Something, something's transferring. It wouldn't
crazy.
surprise. I mean, usually it. I feel like if there was an audience there, people would have said, "Of Hello Dolly's been filmed." A lot of things
Yeah,
get filmed for the archives anyway. Like I know Beetlejuice, or at least bits of Beetlejuice, the original
yeah.
Broadway cast was filmed for the archives and stuff like that. But yeah, but
I
with
just
pro
thought
shots, we've had.
I thought with Imelda they might have done a pro shot.
Yeah. That it would. I feel like that would have been really good. And obviously,
They
they've done
usually
like
do stuff like that when this happens.
with, as you mentioned, with Kiss Me Kate and Adrian Dunbar was and Stephanie J. Block. That was
That comes straight to the cinemas very soon.
it
Next
does
month.
absolutely. Yeah,
I
yeah,
will
yeah.
be there. I will be there because I have to.
Yeah, me too. I
And I
mean,
want
I'm
to see.
definitely wanting to go and see that because it's I missed it at the Barbican.
Yeah,
Uh,
me too.
my main man
Yeah.
Charlie Stamp's in it,
Yes,
so I
that's
can't.
the guy. That's the gaffer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh
Um,
yes.
I've also got what have I got? I have MJ. I went back to MJ.
Hmm.
Um, impeccable as ever.
You love
It's
that one though.
such a good show. Have you seen it yet?
No, see, I've said this before, but I'm not particularly well.
No.
I wouldn't say I'm not a Michael Jackson fan. I'm not like a fan of
Yeah,
him.
I
I
know what you
like
mean.
his music, I guess. I'm not like I don't hate him. I'm just
Yeah,
it's just
I
yeah, I
think
feel like it's just not one that I wouldn't say no. I'd go
you'd
and see
enjoy
it.
it.
You think I'd enjoy
It's
it?
worth. I think it's worth seeing if you get the chance to see
Well,
it.
I
The
think
thrillers.
I vaguely remember seeing a clip and there was am I right in thinking there's a mechanical trapdoor that
Yeah,
sort of I mean that already excites me, but that's just sort of my
it
behind the
works in such a
scenes.
fantastic way because it hovers over still.
Oh right.
Um, so it like goes down an inch or so and slides out the way for the hydraulic lift to come up.
Wow.
Because when you're
Crikey.
sat up in the gods, you see because obviously they pop Michael up on a toaster lift. Um, and also sometimes he goes down on the toaster lift.
Hmm.
And when that's not there, they have some form of cover that goes up and like in,
Oh
so
wow.
that there's not a gap. Oh, it's fantastic. So then basically they can drop the lift down and cover the gap and
Aha, I
still load it.
see. Yeah.
Amazing. Like, there's not a lot like that in theater now. I don't.
Wonderful. Yeah.
So there's a reason. But the thriller sequence is impeccable.
Yeah. That's the
It
one, is
almost
it?
gives like the scenery. I don't want to go too much into detail because it's
Hmm.
absolutely fantastic. But
Yeah.
this the way it kind of looks gives me slight spooky mom and hell dream vibes. I'll leave it there. But yeah, that was that, and then following. Oh, and in the week, I'm going based off my uni times here. We got
Uh-huh.
invited to an open dress of Mrs. Doubtfire
Oh
for
yes.
brand new standby's first performance.
Come on. Let's talk Mrs. Doubtfire.
So good. I love
Isn't
that
it?
show so much. I love it so much. And to see it in a form where there was like barely any audience
Yeah.
and the cast were rehearsing, it's such I've not been to an open dress before.
No.
Um and it was a really cool experience actually. And to see so the new standby, it's Billy Roberts.
Julia Roberts.
And he was awesome. And it's just seeing it in rehearsal and you've got all of these new and we sat like second row as well, which was pretty
Yeah.
great. The last time I sat, I was like right top back.
Uh-huh.
Um, it's a brilliant show. I'll probably go back before it closes because I just love it. Although
It's wholesome.
she's supposedly touring,
Sorry?
she's supposedly touring, right?
World
That's
tour. It's been confirmed. The world tour's been confirmed already.
so basically they want to do a European tour,
Yeah.
is what they're telling me. Because they've
They'll
already
go
got the
to
national
some
tour.
place in Europe, some in America, maybe
They've already got the
possibly
national
Australia.
tour. They've got the national tour in America. They might put a production in.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what might happen. They'll get an Australian production and they'll do a UK tour.
I mean, I'm still happy with that.
Oh, I'm happy
I'm
with that
definitely not
too.
complaining.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know how worldy it's gonna be. Um,
Yeah.
but then again, when everyone says world tour, is it ever a world tour? No.
No.
You know,
Never.
we've got. I'm sure Les Mis Arena Tour has been branded as world, but
Yeah. I think it has as well, and it's definitely not.
Not quite. Anyways, after that, I saw Fiddler on the Roof, my first ever time going to the Regent's
Nice.
Park open air. It was a stunning production. We
How
were on
was
the
Adam
train.
Danheiser?
Ah, s- oh God.
Uh,
Like, I just couldn't imagine anyone else playing that now.
mm,
That
what a
the way
guy.
they did the dream. Are you familiar with Fiddler on the Roof? Wait,
Not at all. I know
they do
like a
a
couple of songs.
brilliant dream sequence, and they like
Hmm.
formed this ghost out of the ensemble, and they had
Yeah.
like a massive hand, like skeletal hand attached to one of them, and they created this really cool big. I think there's some videos somewhere of like clips from rehearsal and stuff. I'll
Yeah,
see if I can find it and send it over to you because it is absolutely stunning.
that sounds
But
cool.
it was one of these productions where you go away from it. We were sat on the train and we went, "Oh, so that was done because
Yeah.
oh, that was so clever." And it's like when you go home thinking about that, that is when you know
Yes.
something was phenomenal.
Hmm.
Um, which we really enjoyed. Then we watched The Purge, which was
Huh.
just a little bit different.
Not
Um,
not my cup of tea at all.
no, you know, I was like, it's nearly Halloween. It's not nearly Halloween. This was the end of September.
Uh,
Anyway, following week, I went for my first trip to Hades Town
oh yes.
and loved it. So good. We saw understudy Morpheus,
Right. See, this doesn't mean anything
Tiago,
to me. I haven't seen Hades Town either. You'd expect me
Tiago,
to be a modern
uh,
musical guy.
a couple of years ago, fairly recent GSA graduate,
Oh right.
um,
Wow.
and he is fantastic as
Awesome.
Orpheus. Um, the rest of the cast were great. I mean, I love Melanie Labarrie. I think she's awesome.
Hmm.
And I know that Rachel Tucker has just gone in now
Yes,
as
she has.
Persephone. Thoughts on that? Interesting, actually. I
I
don't know.
would have no idea. I don't know the
When I
characters. So.
watched it, for me, I was thinking this is not the most Rachel Tucker role I've ever seen.
Right. What about
And
you've got there's if now
anyway,
if yeah. Anyway, what was I could let's go. Oh, Trevor Dion Nicholas Hades. Thoughts?
he's going to be amazing.
Yeah, okay. I'll you can have that one then.
I know that Rachel's going to be amazing, and I've heard since that she has been. It's
Good.
just I wonder how much they played with the role
Yeah.
because looking at that, I feel like, and I could be completely wrong because she's a fantastic actress. For me, as an opinion, I was thinking, oh, I wonder what she's going to do to
Yeah.
make this her own because, Rachel always has a distinct way of making roles her own.
Hmm.
And I wondered where she was going to go with this. So,
Yeah.
not that I don't think that they should have cast her, but more that I was curious and that I thought,
What's she gonna
oh,
be like?
is this the role? I thought that if they were going to put her in, they would have swapped with Melanie Barry and put her as Hermes.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting, and I need to go back and see it now because I love
Yeah.
Rachel Tucker. Um,
Absolutely.
and then I was back on the press nights. My first press night back for a while was 101 Dalmatians
Oh yeah.
um, at the New Victoria Theatre in Woking
I've
with
heard about this.
Kim Marsh
Hmm.
as Cruella de Vil. Kim Marsh was amazing, out of this
Awesome.
world amazing. Like panto villain, very panto villainess. But
Right.
I think in a production like that, you get away with it.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's not, I think sometimes when people go to see a show, they need to, particularly, I feel, I mean, I know people have different ways of reviewing things. My way of reviewing things is I always look at, before I give a rating and before I give my opinions, I look at what is this show trying to be. I don't just go, okay, well, Hamilton was better than this, and I said Hamilton was 5 stars, so this is three. I
Yeah.
would say, so this isn't trying to be a top end musical like Hamilton.
Yeah.
This is trying to be a family friendly, fun, entertaining
Mhm.
piece with
Yeah.
puppets of dogs in it. And that is what it is. It does a very good job of aiming at the people it aimed. I mean, there was hundreds of kids in the audience, and
Yeah.
they were giggling the whole way through.
Yeah.
They were loving Kim Marsh's performance. I was loving Kim Marsh's performance. The puppets are amazing.
Yeah.
The material is adequate.
Right, okay.
There are some memorable songs. Most of them are sung by Tim Marsh, and there was like one big number that I thought, "Oh, this is cute."
Yeah.
And then some of the other stuff is just very samey. But it was a good show. I'm glad I
Mhm.
went.
Right, okay. That's good.
And then I went to, and then I got it. I was a little bit ill. Only for a day. I just didn't feel so great. So I missed out on a press night of Dial M for Mayhem at Guildford.
Oh, right.
Um,
Haven't heard of that one.
and then I went last week to see 1984, the George Orwell. Yeah,
I am
I went
excited to
to see
talk
the
about this. I've
tour.
been waiting. I've been waiting to talk to you about this one. Come on, 1984.
I was, I hadn't read the book.
So no, I hadn't read the book either, but I did it as one of my A-level performances.
Who did you play?
I was Winston. Yeah, Winston
That
Smith.
performance was the most shocking and horrific thing
It's
I've put myself
horrible.
through in a little while.
It's so horrible.
To sit there and watch him getting tortured was painful, to say the
Yeah.
least.
Oh yeah.
Um, and the way they staged it was genius. And they had a camera above him, a live feed camera. So when he's sat in the chair, I won't go too into detail again. When he's in that chair
Uh-huh.
and his head's rolling back because of the pain, you see everything in his face
My God.
because you can see him. And and then they stripped him fully naked. Like I mean like stark naked.
Bully,
Full full frontal nudity.
did you see the old
Yeah,
crikey, ring up Paul, he'll want to go and see this.
it was just it was part of the torture.
I'd understand a shirt off. Yeah,
But
a bit of the bit of
I don't
skin.
know why they were torturing us. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Hmm.
There was
I did.
all I was thinking is there was a full school in sat near me, and I was just like,
Oh.
okay.
All right. Sure. Yeah.
The teachers
Um.
are probably sat there going,
Oh no.
the complaints come flooding in from the parents the next day.
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Probably. Probably.
wow. But
Yeah.
then by the time this episode goes out, I'll have seen Here You Come Again, the Dolly Parton one, the new Dolly Parton
Oh
one.
yeah. Hmm.
Not the old Dolly Parton one, not the 9 to 5, but not the new Dolly Parton one that we're waiting on, which is Hello, I'm Dolly, not to be confused with Hello Dolly.
Hello, Dolly.
Um,
Yeah.
why
Too
Dolly
many
Parton?
Dolly
I
Parton
love you,
musicals. Just
Dolly.
calm down.
And then you got Christmas on the Square, which I think is one of the best things ever, and I'd love to see it on stage. But you know, I'm excited for that, and I'm seeing Philomena with Felicity Kendall in on Wednesday, so busy week.
Oh, Felicity Kendall. Crikey.
So
I
that's
mean,
my theatre
you've
chat.
been very busy.
Been very busy. I spoke for so long now. Let's move on to questions from the web.
Do you not have anything in your pocket today?
Oh, actually, I do.
Oh, see this. I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting so long for this.
Have you really? Have you really? It's a bit big to fit in my pocket, but
Oh,
it's
he's
in
got
there.
his big pockets on again.
It's
Big
in there.
Pockets Davies is back. That's what they
You
call
ready?
him down at the schoolyard.
You ready?
Here we go. Oh, it's Halloween. Here
It's
we
little
go.
Jack Skellington
Jack to
Cup.
Skellington. Is it Halloween film or is it a Christmas film?
Both.
Is it?
It's fully acceptable to watch that film
I think,
from the
yeah.
first of October until 15th of January, and then that's the cutoff. I mean, I would accept it through the year just because it's a good film,
Hmm,
but
I understand that.
I personally believe it's in everything and both seasons film.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
October and Christmas, so you can watch that whenever you like.
See,
Um,
I'm gonna say something a bit controversial now. I'm not a fan of it. I love Tim Burton, but I'm not a fan of Nightmare Before Christmas. And I've even put I did like a little weird Christmas variety show for this old drama club I was in, and I played Jack Skellington. I had to sing "What's This?" And I enjoyed it. I
what
enjoyed
is
getting to
this?
explore the character. But I'm not. I for that I rewatched the film, and yeah, it just It starts off
maybe,
okay and just gets really weird.
sometimes, Harrison, you play a role and then you don't enjoy the film anymore. That's what's
Yeah.
happened to you, you
You think
sick
so?
human being. Anyway, let's move on to questions
Oh,
from the
that was the
web.
most terrifying what's in Robbie's pocket ever. Halloween edition. Um, yeah. Right. What's next? Questions from the web. Oh my goodness. Now I'm handling questions from the web this
But
week.
I've given it to
We
Harrison because I had
it's
so much to
fun.
speak about in the
Yeah.
past section.
You've sent me the questions. I've got them here written down.
They're from the
Um,
webs.
before we get there though, I have
Mhm.
something to address from our last questions from the web.
Oh,
One of our questions last time was favorite villains and anti-heroes.
yes.
And I spent a lot of time thinking about this question. I remember
I've
being
also been thinking about this
on
question.
the recording. This isn't actually one of our questions this time, but I just think it's important to bring back because last time we had a good discussion about it. We gave some answers, but I think I've sort of solidified my favorites now. Now I've actually
Oh,
had time to think about it, and I've found three. And they're all anti-heroes.
oh,
So I've got not a musical, but a play. Chris Bean from The Play That Goes Wrong. He is not a villain,
yes,
but he is the director of the show who yells at
yes.
everyone. And I think he has
Yeah,
a really fun sort of character journey. And you kind of root for him and are against him, but he's just fun and lovable. I think it's a great
yeah.
character. So
No, I
that's
agree.
one. Secondly, the MC from Cabaret.
Yes. I
I
think
wouldn't
we mentioned this one in the previous episode, and
it's
but I agree with you.
interesting on what you would think on whether he is an anti-hero or a villain because he starts off as a nice guy and slowly just gets really sinister, creepy, and horrifying. And it's weird to think, is he because he's not a good guy by the end, but he's such a great character. He's like someone you can't help but love because of how you see him at the start. And then he
Yeah,
slowly you see this awful side creep out of him. Um, however, what a great character.
it's pretty good.
And finally, favorite, I think, of all of these, gotta be Beetlejuice.
Yeah,
Why did
yeah.
we not think of Beetlejuice? He is
Why did we
the
miss him
anti-hero.
out? I'd
He
like to
is
add one.
go on, go by all means, go
Uh,
ahead.
just because I did think of this after the episode.
Yeah.
Lizzie Borden from Lizzie the Musical.
Oh, Liz, yeah, because Lizzie's actually come back recently, hasn't it?
It has come back, and I wish I would get it. I'm going to try and get to see it again, but I
Uh-huh.
don't know how likely that's going to be because it's
Yeah.
only staying in Manchester, isn't it? Um, so
Right.
it's not touring at the moment, unless they announce a tour afterwards. Which, if they do, bring it back to Southwark Playhouse is all I want to say. Um, or don't, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, it's just whatever. But I loved it personally. I was keeping that show alive when it was in London.
yeah.
Um, I it's very debatable whether she's a hero, but whether she's an anti-hero or a villain. Probably not a hero, but they kind of paint her as a hero. But
Yeah.
they don't. That's the whole idea, is they don't paint her as a hero, but they don't necessarily paint her as though she's done something wrong
Hmm.
because they show you what leads her to it. But like also it's still not even known whether she actually did it in real life or not. So like she's
Yeah.
villainous, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd definitely say that counts for that question.
Anyway,
Not
the
that I
real
know anything
question.
about Lizzie, but you know,
We need the real ones. What have we got,
we have the
Harrison?
real ones.
I mean, I know what we've got, but I like you can tell us instead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Our first question, we've been sent in, and that is, if you could turn any film into a musical that isn't yet a musical, what would it be?
Is there any immediate ones that jump out to you?
See, again, I've sort of over sort of the recording today, I've been thinking about this,
Mhm.
and I think so. I'm gonna say one of these. I'm not going to say because I'm writing the script.
And I'm starring in it.
Yes. I think you'd actually be really good in it. I'll tell you later, but I'm not going to
Tell
say it
me,
just in case
send
someone
me,
steals the
yeah,
idea.
I'm in.
You're in. I've written Act One. I'll send it to you. You can learn which role, whichever you want. You're in. But I'm writing a script. I don't want anyone to steal the idea. Um, I've got two other ideas, and that's films that aren't, there you go. Films that aren't yet uh musicals. And that's firstly Wonka, quite recent,
Yeah,
but lends itself very well to the stage, I think. And secondly, my one of my all-time favorite films, and that's La La Land.
yeah,
That on stage would be so cool. It would be heartbreaking. I mean, the amount of tears
that
that come out of
that
people in
would
that
be
theater
good
would
on
be
stage.
insane. But we've had
Yeah,
what? We've had The Notebook, the musical on Broadway. Why can't we have La La Land, the musical in the West End? Someone
in the
write
West
it.
End,
Who would you
literally.
cast? Let's actually get Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone in the West
I
End.
think we could, to be honest. I
Yeah,
think it's possible. Um, I mean, they're already making The Greatest Showman, so that's not one to say.
they are.
Um, I think The Emperor's New Groove would make a really great stage
That would be
musical.
good. That would be quite fun and lots of colors.
Yeah,
Very
and
big.
I think they need to do it. I mean, it's going to be difficult turning people into llamas, but I mean, you
Llamas.
can do,
Yeah.
if we've done The Cursed Child, you know what I mean? We could
That's
do it.
very true. I mean,
We've done The
theatre
Cursed
magic
Child.
knows no bounds.
Theatre magic, yeah, it just does what it likes. It
Absolutely.
suspends belief, and
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's what we need to do. So that's my answer. I don't think I have any other answers. I'll probably think of some, and then in the next episode, I'll be like,
Well, the thing is, though, I think we need to maybe we need to add a new section of last time's questions from the webs that we've now had a
what
chance to
we've
think about.
decided on since last month. Yeah.
Um, right, next question. I'll bring up. It's quite strange being the master of questions this time.
I know. Powerful.
Yeah. Next up, Wicked or The Wizard of Oz? Oh, look at that face.
Conflicted.
Hey?
There's so much conflict in my mind.
Uh,
Wizard of Oz.
no, no. Get out. Leave. I'm
Uh,
half tempted to leave the call, actually.
I know the Wizard of Oz inside out, back to front, forward, and backwards. I did two productions of it as a kid. I love the film so much. And I like the fact that it's just not as long. But I also love Wicked. And it is honestly fantastic. And I'm really looking forward to the film. The Wizard of Oz was a bit of a my mind needs to choose one. But I think actually it's not a possible one. Yeah, no, I just feel like it's hard to choose. Like,
Yeah, I get that. I definitely see where you're coming from, but for me, it's a no-brainer. For me, it's Wicked all the way. It's
yeah,
got to be. I mean, not. I mean, you've got to you to fully appreciate Wicked. You've got to have seen The Wizard of Oz,
I think
and
I
I
would even go as far
understand
as
that.
saying you've got to enjoy the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. However, for me, the songs, the spectacle
Okay,
that it is,
the
the
spectacle of the songs,
detail, huh?
the songs in Wicked are better than the songs in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. And it's just, I think, I I kind of think of the Wizard of Oz is kind of it's very fairy tale-esque in
Yeah,
the way it's structured. It's she arrives in this in Oz.
yeah,
She meets Glinda, and then she sort of collects people along the way. The Scarecrow, then the Tin Man, then the Lion, then she meets the Wiz, and it's sort of like, oh, you're going up and up. It's literally like, and then and I'm not saying that's bad. Obviously, there's loads of fundamentals that we've built on storytelling like that. However, Wicked is twisted and it's the dark side of it, but it's also like the unheard story. And
yeah,
I think it's hard to make stories like that so legendary. Like there are things like that. There's one called Twisted, which is Aladdin from the point of Jafar,
yes,
and Unfortunate, which is the Little Mermaid from
yeah,
Ursula. And those aren't you don't particularly hear of those, which is why I think, Wicked, and for me, I just adore it. The characters and sort of the way they link it together, the way they actually use the Wizard of Oz in Wicked, which the story takes place in about 5 minutes. But then again, the fact that you meet the characters like the Scarecrow and the Tin Man and the light, you meet them, but they're tiny little references in this massive, spectacular show. Um, so for me, it's Wicked all the way.
I get
Bring on
that.
the film.
Yes, that's like round the corner.
Next month. I can't wait. I feel like it's going to be a good one.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking
Definitely.
forward to it. Act what I mean, I've seen the track list and it looks like they're going to be. I hope they're going to be so faithful. They better be faithful to the musical.
Be faithful.
They have to. They have to. Um, and I just that should we just that sort of cover that? Do you think?
I think it does. I don't think
Should we
there's
have
much
our
more we can say.
yeah? Should we have our final question?
I think we should. What is it, Harrison?
The final question is, if any musical character could have its own spin-off, what would you choose and why? That's our final question that's been sent in for this month. I think that's actually quite difficult to think of on the spot. I feel like it's got to be some sort of almost side character in a musical.
Yeah, it
But
can't be
there's
Beetlejuice. He's already got his own.
yeah, you've got to it's hard to sort of you've got to go through all musicals in your head and go, which would be good. I'm immediate. I don't know why, but immediately that came to my head there was Elder McKinley from the Book of Mormon. I'd
I
quite,
like that.
I'd go and see that. That would be funny.
I'd see McKinley the musical.
McKinley the musical, yeah, that would be good. We'll get that sorted out.
Hmm.
It's really difficult to choose. We're trying to think of sort of fun, sort of maybe side characters that we'd like to see more of.
I mean, if we're going down any of the Disney routes, I'd love to see an Olaf the musical. I
Yeah,
think that would be genius.
that would
And
be
we
good.
could,
I'd quite like to see it would maybe Hamilton from the point of view of Jefferson.
um, Box the musical.
Uh, we'd have
This is
to, I mean,
this is getting good.
yeah, we just trying to,
Um,
I mean, you could go, there's a lot because, I mean, we've just
there's
spoke about Wicked and Wizard of
millions.
Oz. I mean, that is quite literally the Wicked Witch that got
Yeah.
her own
But, like,
musical,
imagine like a spin-off of that, like Scarecrow the musical. Like,
Fiero the musical.
going.
It's the Wizard of Oz and Wicked told from the point of Fiero. And then in that one, you get Bok the musical, which is the tale of the Wizard of Oz, Wicked, and Fiero the musical told from the point of view of Bok. And eventually we just go so far down the line
Then it's like a
that you
10-hour
end back
musical.
up at the
And we
Wizard of
just
Oz. We could make a circle. I don't know.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, why
This
not?
is a very
Um,
interesting question. I feel like there's going to be more answers on the next episode than there is in this one.
I feel like we've yeah, we've just reeled off a couple of ideas, but I feel like now I am going to think about this.
Yes, I am.
Me too.
Chicago the music, but like not Chicago like Amos.
Yeah, Amos, or maybe from the point of view of, the fourth inmate in the cell block Tango that doesn't speak any English.
That
And you hear
is
about
a
her
very
story.
good point. Or like Mama Morton the musical.
Oh,
Um,
that would be that. I mean, I'd go and see that any
that
day of the week.
I would be in for that.
What about Hairspray and Corny
I
Collins?
just thought about this. Yes, Connie Collins, Edna the musical. Uh, yeah, there is so many. I
There are
think,
so many. I am gonna think about this. Maybe I think we should have a new segment next time about
yeah,
things we've thought about since the last time.
why not? I'm in.
Oh dear. Um, yeah, that's all the questions from the web.
Which
Um,
means that's everything, right? And
it is. You know
uh,
what I think we should do is, since we've had a bit of time off, and
Yes.
we've, when people click on the video to watch it, you get the little thumbnail.
Yes.
And you get like videos on YouTube of people really overreacting, like just to put in this thumbnail. I feel like we need to do some really shocked faces so
Right
we can
now.
edit it onto the thumbnail and it makes it look like something's gone drastically wrong. Like maybe, oh, we're going to end it, or it just gets a bit more
You
attention.
ready?
There we go.
Three,
Ready?
2, 1. Okay, there's the thumbnail right there. And everyone got to watch it happen. That's like a behind the scenes video right there.
Yeah, there we go.
Enjoy that. Ready?
I don't know why I thought of that. I just thought that would be something quite funny to do.
The scandal. But
The
yeah,
scandal of 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Episode 6, The Half-Blood Prince.
4 out of 6 ain't three. Um,
Correct.
yeah, there you go. But that brings us to the end of episode whatever. 4,
6.
6.
I've just said 6. We should have done something 6 related today.
No,
That was a big mistake. Happy
we'll do
episode
some,
6, everyone. Dedication to 6.
we'll do something 6 related in episode 7.
Yeah, let's do
Um,
that. I'm all for it. Two
but
out of
aside
three
from
ain't bad.
that,
That can be the mistake.
yeah, thanks for watching. And
There we go.
come and listen to us on the radio. You got my times, but we'll leave it all in the description. You can go to the website and you can listen to boxofficeradio.co.uk and we'll be there. We'll just be there.
Always.
Every Thursday, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. Harrison's every Friday, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. And then me again on a Saturday, 2 p.m. till 4 p.m. So you just can't get enough of the Golden Boys of Box Office Radio. And we'd love to have you there listening to our shows because we put a lot of effort into them. So, that'd be nice.
Absolutely. We
But
do.
aside from that, make sure you subscribe because otherwise you will not find out when we do an episode of this. Um, and we do it every month usually. Sometimes there's minor bumps in the road and we get really busy and we can't do it. That's what happened. And that's
Either that
fine.
or Robbie forgets that it's actually happening and we and it's me messaging him saying, when are we recording? But
And it's the end of the month and I go, next month? But
yeah, sure.
that won't happen again. I'm more organized now, you see. Um,
Uh,
that was moving to uni kind of threw me away. Threw me away
and me actually, funnily
and
enough.
I threw Harrison off track because
Threw me
because he
off a
misses me.
building. I'm
He
surprised I
misses me.
survived.
Yeah.
I am genuinely so excited to see you next month at that
Next
conference.
month, real life.
I
I
am
post
going to
photos.
run up to you. We're going to lock eyes. I said this the other day. We're going to lock eyes. I'm going to run and jump on you. That nothing sexual. But we'll
I'm
it's
gonna
going to
do
be
this.
carnage with us
I'm
together.
gonna do the same to Sutton Sweet, to be honest.
Oh dear. Look with him in his propeller trying to take off there.
Right,
Right.
right. End of the episode. Subscribe, like,
This has
comment,
been
do all them
carnage.
things, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, friends.
Bye.